Dear fathers, brothers and friends, we celebrate this 8th December 166 years of the foundation of the SMA, a story which began in Lyon, France. It is an opportunity to come together, to thank the Lord for our common missionary vocation, and to pray to the intercession of our venerable founder for the spread of the good news in Africa and from Africa. This year, I would like to focus on two dimensions of our life as SMAs: synodality and mission as reaching out. You know that Pope Francis has prolonged to 2024 the Synodal Assembly, which will take place in two sessions, the first in October 2023 and the second in October 2024. This was done to favor the comprehension of synodality as a constitutive element of the Church and help everyone to live it as a journey of brothers and sisters who bear witness to the joy of the Gospel. All of us are committed to the synodality pathway in the local church and in each one's particular ministry. I'm sure your contribution has been appreciated. Synodality has also shed light on how we live our own SMA fraternal life, our meetings, our own structures. For instance, this year in June in Rome we had the mid-mandate plenary council with the participation of all the province and district leaders. From the fruit of this discussion, let me remind everyone that starting from this January, all our units, 23 units, will contribute to the common funds, like the Mission Fund, Initial Formation Fund, Earth Retirement Fund, Growth of the New Unit Fund, Center Administration Fund. Most units have already organized their mid-mandate meetings and assemblies. All these have been also experiences of communion, participation and mission, synodality. Synodality is also good collaboration in our teams. Often these teams are international and intercultural, in the formation houses, in parishes, and also in leadership councils. Synodality is also being more and more inclusive in our mission, collaborating with the local church and the laity. Synodality is a cordial exchange in personnel among us, among units, under the coordination of the Generalate, according to the regulations that we have established together and geared towards the good of the mission. I have just promulgated the revised edition of our constitutions and laws, according to the decisions of the 2019 General Assembly. Synodality is also learning to be missionary together. It is in this light that a seminar was organized in Calavi by the SMA OLA Commission for the Common Patrimony with about 40 participants, SMAs and OLAs. This seminar has been another important step in our shared pathway en route towards 2026. And after synodality, mission as reaching out. 166 years ago, Bezillac founded the SMA to reach out to the most abandoned peoples of Africa. 20 years later, Father Planck founded the OLA missionary sisters, basically for the same purpose, with a special attention to be given to women and families. Reaching out is at the core of the missionary vocation. As we read in Ad Gentes number 23, Christ the Lord always calls whomever he wills from among the number of his disciples to be with him and to be sent by him to preach to the nations. Therefore, he inspires the missionary vocation in the hearts of individuals, and at the same time, he raises up in the Church certain institutes which take as their own special task the duty of preaching the gospel, a duty belonging to the whole church. The missionary vocation was inspired in the heart of the young Brezeillac and led him to leave his diocese of Carcassonne and join the Paris Foreign Missionary Society. Before embarking for India, the first of his 4 resolutions was to be a missionary from the bottom of my heart. When he had to leave India and was no more a member of the Paris Foreign Mission Society, that fundamental inspiration resurfaced, and the new society was raised up for a mission to the most abandoned peoples of Africa. We now are part of that very society, all of us, and we are called to live out today that fundamental inspiration born in the heart of the young Brezeillac, to be missionaries from the bottom of our hearts. In my recent official visit to Ireland with Father Christopher, I was touched by a phrase on a wall in the house of Dromantine. To be a missionary is first to get to know the people, and then to let yourself be known by them. I propose this definition as a guiding principle for the 23 newly ordained SMA priests who have been mostly appointed in areas of primary evangelization in Africa. This definition applies also to the whole SMA family, fathers, brothers, associates, volunteers, and the 345 seminarians. Together we can all say, to be missionaries is first to get to know the peoples, and then to let us be known by them. Let's then reach out, encountering and dialoguing with people in the light of Pope Francis' letter Fratelli Tutti, which I hope all of us had the time to read and meditate. It remains the horizon for our mission and the mission of all Christians. Dear brothers, dear all of you, let us forge ahead into the future with confidence and great gratitude. I think dearly of those among us who persevere in difficult and insecure places in some parts of Africa. I'm sure that Bishop Brezeillac is proud of his children. May he intercede for all of us to be truly missionaries from the bottom of our hearts. To all of you, fraternal wishes and a very happy Foundation Day.